Howdy folks, and welcome back to another Vampy Lizard video. As you can see here, we are back in City Skylines, starting a brand new series. Yes, we are starting another city, even though we do actually have the other city currently running, and that series is not finished. I do plan on still making videos for that series. However, we are also starting on this new one. The reason I started on this one while that other one was still going was I was just getting a bit bored of, well, the flatness, you know. There's no terrain. It just gets a bit boring, I think, and I wanted to be a bit more creative as well. Instead of just having complete grids, I wanted to have as creative a city as I could possibly make. And that's one of the main goals that I'm going to have in this series, is I'm going to really try and make not the city just realistic, but nice to look at. And that means, other than basically just the downtown area, it's going to be as little grids as possible. I'm going to be trying to make the roads really nice to look at, and that's one thing that you're going to start seeing very soon. Anyways, I chose this map. I believe on the official City Skylines subreddit, I saw someone made a post with this map, and it just looked really nice. There's the river, some water. It seems like kind of a bay area, but not quite the ocean. As well as those beautiful mountains in the background, which I do plan on building some suburbs and some low density other residential houses on, and it'll look really nice. Anyways, let's get on to what I'm actually doing now. So what we are doing now is we are building the road layout for the downtown of the main city. Now, in a city that I did a couple months ago, I don't believe I made a series on it, but there was some videos from that city, such as the first-person train and tram videos, as well as the bus, I believe, and that was just a project of mine that I wasn't doing for YouTube. But in that, I made multiple cities in this one region, because, you know, the City Skylines maps are decently sized, and I do really like the idea of having multiple cities in this area. Now, I'm not sure if the map is really going to allow for it to work, because there isn't actually too much flat space, but I mean, if it did work, it would be a really cool looking area, and I think I would love to really do that. Anyways, right now, I decided that I really want to plan out everything. Almost everything in this series is going to be planned out. I'm not sure if I'm going to show it on camera or not, but it will be planned out, probably hand-drawn by myself. And right now, one of the things I'm doing is I'm painting out some districts, which is just going to help a little bit with the planning, such as a university district. Usually I don't do these things right at the beginning of the series. I just basically just make a road layout and then start placing buildings, but I really want to plan everything perfectly, and I want to have all the different types of things you can have in a city center, such as a university, and of course this walkable area, I believe it's called, or a pedestrian zone. Just trying to, you know, make everything look as nice as possible, as I said. And you can start to see that I'm adding a lot more curved roads in this, and that is because, of course, I want to get rid of the grid. However, this one I'm not super sure about. It's a bit close to the city center, I think, for it to be going so crazy as the way it is. I think I might delete those road networks and just bring it back to more of a basic grid-like shape, kind of like what's happening right there. It's not completely a grid, but, you know, it's still grid-like. The roads are a little curved, which I do love, by the way, that kind of shape. So, but this is just most of it is gonna change, I believe. Not everything, though. I think like this center area where I'm placing down the buildings, that's gonna remain the same for probably the entire series. But I do think that some of the outer areas of this inner city area, I guess, is gonna change somewhat in appearance. And now, as you can see, we're just placing down a few skyscrapers for the downtown. And unlike the other series where it's just so many skyscrapers, as well as my city that I did before that one, as I mentioned before, which is not recorded, I had massive downtowns with just lots and lots of buildings. And I just think it looked just a bit too messy with so many buildings. It's just, unless you're in like Chicago or maybe New York City, I guess. I don't really know many other cities other than that. I haven't been to them. Then there just aren't that many skyscrapers. Of course, I want to have some, and I do think I might add a few more, but they're not going to be as tall as these current ones are, and I'm definitely going to change up the downtown in the future. I think this is just kind of a temporary layout right now. I want to make it look a bit more balanced, so it goes from like high to low from the edges and the skyline, of course. And then I just had to remember that I forgot a train station. And for the train station, actually, for this series, I had a really unique idea on how I wanted to do it. And that is, I wanted to have, instead of having one platform for one line, which is it's just going to take up way too much space if that was a real city. So what I decided to do is that we're just going to have 4 tracks in the station, and the way it's going to work is trains are just going to be coming and going. You'll board different trains that go to different places from the same platform, and I think that's just going to look kind of neat, you know. And now that it's been a bit of time since those buildings were first placed down, you can see the population is steadily growing. People are coming in, and yes, traffic is already getting bad somehow. So I decided that we needed another highway ramp, or exit, or interchange, I suppose you could call it. And this interchange actually came out pretty nicely, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna work on this anymore. Maybe add a little more detail sometime down the road, but I do actually like the way this one looked. And of course, over here, it's gonna be just another city area. Not really sure if it's gonna be medium density or if it's just gonna be all the way down to suburbs already, but that's for the future to know. Not everything completely is planned out yet. Anyways, guys, that's the first episode of this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and this series should be good, so make sure to stick around, leave a like, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.